I'm hearing some weird noises in the garage. What the? What's this? What the heck? Juan? Juan, what are you doing to my coilovers?
Nothing.
What's going on here? I pulled the coilovers off and I set them on this table nice and organized, but then out of nowhere, Juan started taking them apart.
I just feel like, you know, fiddling with stuff.
What's going on, Juan? We usually see you at the racetrack.
Woo!
So, kind of a behind the scenes deal. We've been working on this for a hot minute now. The car has had the same exact set of coilovers since 2014, when this car was slammed and stancy. And now that we're going fast, everything with the car has taken a different direction. So there is changes that needed to be made to the suspension. One thing in major particular is I absolutely hate how low the car sits at the ground. The other thing is when we have acceleration videos start from the starting line, we're noticing that the car bounces a couple times and then it settles out and goes. Now, oddly enough, it's never upset the car, but it is something that kind of shows us that there could be improvements to be had. So Juan actually got me set up with BC Racing, which has been on board with the car since 2014. Back then I had like a car show partial sponsorship, and you know, Juan talked to them now, and we're going to be the drag Miata R&D car.
Yes, sir.
So what we have today, we are leaving the fronts pretty much the same spring, same lower perch, same upper perch, but we have longer shocks, longer cylinders. I want the car to sit higher all around, so the fronts were a necessity. And as you see, before he goes crazy, you're not supposed, oh, you already loosened it?
Yeah.
All right, so we'll show you on this one. So right now, you can see that the shock is only halfway through this hole right now. Well, BC does not recommend you having visible air underneath the threads. They want that hole to be filled with the threads. So I physically could not raise up my car anymore. That is why it's been at the right height it's been at. So what we're doing today is the fronts, we have longer cylinders. The rears, we are actually going to be going to a long stroke setup. The cylinder and the top hat will have 55 millimeter more stroke, which will help me control better with squatting. Also, we are going to a little bit stiffer of a spring in the rear to help have more adjustability with the squat, because right now I have 6K springs in the rear and they are full stiff as far as compression, and I can't slow the squat down anymore. So we're gonna try to go up to a heavier spring, and hopefully with the heavier spring, we will have more adjustability. So, Juan, can you show us what we got going on today? What is under curtain number one? What we got here? What we got here?
So this is a new Miata N04 kit with the extended top hat. So like you stated earlier, it has 55 millimeters more usable stroke. So for depending on your application and discipline, you have more tunability. So whichever your platform is on, if you like drag racing, drifting, autocross, or stancy, so you got more usable stroke. So you got more.
So she'll work out in theory better for us.
Yes,
now,
especially for drag racing is good, but for your setup, that's where we had to go with a little bit longer.
Yes.
Damper. So for
so
this
now,
setup,
yeah, for my car in particular, I run a tall radial in the back. I run a 26-inch tire. Now, he had given me these about 2 weeks ago, but the problem is like I said about the cylinder length. When I adjusted these to be the same length as what I had, there was absolutely no threads here. So we had to get a pair of longer cylinders for the rear. So now everything will be safe, and I'm excited to see what the differences are.
yeah, you did what, 8.4 on an off the shelf.
Yeah, I mean these right now. If you contact BC Racing, and I believe this is an extreme low kit.
Yeah, now they're made extreme by default. So that means that this kit is the shortest we can make it.
Yes.
for this application. So yeah, extreme low by default is the way it comes.
So I've been rocking straight up off the shelf coilovers doing this whole drag racing deal, which is pretty insane because a lot of my friends that run the times that I do, the 60 foots I do, they fight wheelie issues, they fight suspension issues, and we're over here with a couple of keyboards clicks and it's going fast. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna disassemble all these guys and we're gonna be swapping cylinders over. So we're gonna do a couple just to go through it, and then we will end up time-lapsing at least one of them so you guys can see the cool process we go through. So without further ado, let's get to spinning some wrenches. Woo. All right, so Juan got first cylinder wrapped up. So now I can show you exactly what the difference are with the front cylinder. Now, like I said, the springs are the same, the top perch is the same, the lower perch is the same. The only difference is we are going this much longer in the cylinder. That's it. That is all we needed. That way I can raise up the car a little bit. I mean, that's about what you said, a 22 millimeter, yeah, almost a full inch on the cylinder. So I'm not sure what that translates to on the car. I know it's just a little bit different, but even still, if I can get any more gain on a ride height, that's what I'm after at this point. All right. So we are shiny, shiny, shiny. And then, so the new rears, I just took off the shiny knob and put the shiny knob in the front. Just so
all the shiny things,
the prettiness stays in the front, because these guys are in the trunk. You will never ever see them, unfortunately, even though they are super beautiful. Very pretty. So nice. I'm excited to try these. Very excited.
Me too.
Alrighty, so this man's only been here an hour. We knocked out everything already. What we did, so we'll show you guys the main difference right now. These are the rears that I had before, and these are the rears we have now. Now, like I said, we are replacing the whole unit. So before, this is standard length, extreme low, 6K spring Miata rear coil assembly. And now what we have is this is the new kit, but I have 1 inch longer cylinders with the 2 inches more of top hat. So now I actually have more usable shock length. And yeah, I mean, you can physically see the difference now. We just measured all 4 shocks. We will be a full 1 inch longer all around. So hopefully the car will be at a better ride height. I mean, it looked super sick nasty before, but like for drag week and stuff where I have to drive 1,000 miles plus on the street, I can't get hung up by a stupid pothole. Like, no. I want the car to be usable. I don't want it to be like a damn truck, but I'd be perfectly fine with a finger or 2 finger wheel gap, and I'd be a happy man. You know, this whole build is about form at this point. I'm sorry, the function. The form's been in the past, now it's function, but we also do want form with the function. We want to make it look good too. So I'm not trying to have a monster truck, but I need to have a usable ride height. So these are actually the old cylinders as we had before. These are the rears, these were the fronts. And like I said, we went a full inch longer on all of them. So I'm excited. I just put one on the front just to bolt it up. I mean, really no need to, it just got to go back together anyway. But we're all situated here, you know. Glad to have him hang out for a bit. And thank you for helping me with this opportunity.
Gotcha.
It's gonna be pretty cool. Like I said in the past, you know, I'm really trying to stick with the IRS setup. You know, this car's been a high 120 60 foot already, a 127. I mean, we've made some pretty quick passes with very basic parts. You know, My rear axles are off the shelf from Drive Shaft Shop. My diff assembly mount is off the shelf at V8 Roadsters. These coilovers were the bare bones Stancy coilovers. So what I'm doing right now is not hard for anyone at home to do. Obviously things aren't cheap. However, you know, nice products do come at a cost. So retiring these bad boys after 6 years on the car. Can't say I put many miles on them, but I'm really excited to see how these new rears do with the stiffer spring and the longer stroke. Be curious to see some tunability out of these shocks now, because the problem, like I said, with these guys is we had to run these at all the way stiff, and I had zero adjustability. They were just hanging on in the back for dear life. So at least now with the rear spring being stiffer, I should have more compression control. Because on this car, because it's an IRS setup, yes, I do want rebound, but right now the compression would be more of an adjustment for my suiting at this point. Maybe in the future, we've talked about if we max out this setup or if the car is unhappy, we could always go double adjustables, but we want to make baby steps. You know, I'm really curious to see where we can take different things, you know? So anyway, suspension video. I'm happy to have BC Racing on board. I appreciate Juan coming to hang out on my crewman tech support. So we are going to hopefully get the car back together this weekend. New diff mount is coming in, and then once I weld up the new diff mount, we should be ready to go. I have an idea of what we're doing for an expansion tank, so I got to get on my stuff because in 2 weeks we'll be racing in Atlanta. So it'll be me, Juan, and Jeff.
Yes, sir.
The Turtle team is going to Atlanta. So appreciate you guys watching today's video. I'm super stoked to have the setup now, and we will see how far we can take the Turtle now. Will she go into the teens with the 60 foot? We will find out this year. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you in the next one.